What's up, everybody? In this video, I want to talk about an approach to meditation that I think is really beneficial because it helps you think about the results of your practice in a way that is tangible and applicable to your everyday living. And it's this idea that meditation is the practice of learning how to let go, of learning how to not chase. And it's the opposite of how we've been conditioned our whole lives. We're always following the whims of every thought our mind chooses to generate. Our mind can say, that t-shirt looks good. I need to have that t-shirt. I'm going to get that t-shirt right now. Your mind can say, I'm attracted to that person. I want to be with that person under any cost. I don't care what's going on in my personal life. I don't care if this is going to be a decision that will derail me in an extremely detrimental way. I have to be with this person. Why else would my mind tell me that I desire this person so much? My mind needs this. My mind needs that. I'm going in whatever direction my mind wants me to go in. And that's because we're so used to thinking that our thoughts are who we are, that it is a accurate representation of what's really going on inside of us. But when we start meditating, the first thing that we learn is to hone this idea and then consistently reinforce it that those thoughts are completely separate from us. We're the observer of the thoughts. We're the awareness of the thoughts. And that's why when you think about it, your thoughts are never consistent. So how can they be an accurate reflection of who you really are? That same shirt that you said you had to have is going to be the same shirt that you look at in the closet and you're like, this ain't it. This has to go. I'm getting rid of this. That same person that you were so driven to alter your life by any means necessary to be with could potentially be that person who you look at and you realize there's no desire there. There's no attraction there. And you wonder how you even got into the situation to begin with. Because our mind and the thoughts that it generates are so fickle. It's always going to love something today and not love it tomorrow. It's always going to play both sides of the fence. It's going to tell you you could do anything, and then it's going to tell you you're not capable of anything. And so if you're always chasing, which is what we're used to doing, always chasing, always grabbing a hold of our thoughts, always feeling that we have to go in the direction that is willing to take us in, then we lose all power. We give all of our power to the whimsical thoughts that are generated in our mind. But when we think about our meditation as the practice of letting go, as the practice of not chasing, because we learn that we're not our thoughts. And so we don't have to take these thoughts so seriously. We don't have to over identify with everything that populates within our mind. We can see that shirt and say, that's interesting. My mind told me that this is a great shirt, or my mind populated a thought about a desire about this shirt. And then you just move on. You're not attached to it. That's interesting. My mind populated a thought about this person, even though I'm in no position to even want to think about going in this direction right now. That's interesting. And then you just move on. And the more that you do this, the more you learn that you don't have to go by these instincts, go by these impulses. Look at how so many industries thrive off of thinking that they can take advantage of you being like this. Take advantage of thinking that you don't have this type of control over what drives you when you see something that you desire. And it just makes you a more steady person. It makes you somebody who is less impulsive, because we're always going to have something, right? It's not to say that we're never going to make a financial decision that isn't really beneficial for how we want to utilize our money, or spend our time in a way that may not necessarily be in our best interest. But we've created guards. We've created ways of slowing down the process to the point where hopefully by the time we make a decision, it's going to be something that's much more intentional than it would have been if we were just chasing the whimsical populations of what's going on inside of our head. And so it takes meditation, which has so many definitions. I keep learning new definitions. And what's interesting is they're not just new definitions. In so many ways, to me, they're new philosophical branches almost that really sprout into its own ideology, its own concept, but is still within the fabric of meditation as a whole. So we just learn to take everything that's there, weave it together, and you get this synergy between definitions that all make a wonderful contribution and have more and more benefits as you learn to continue in your practice and grow with this. So just understand, we don't have to chase and be attached to everything that comes our way, like we're conditioned to do, that we may have been doing our entire lives. Now we're learning to let things go, observe, and not get attached. That's it for this one. Share a comment below if you got one, and I'll talk to you next time.